Hi everyone. So anybody that's interested in learning about Jewish history and really wants to learn it from the eyes of Torah and from the eyes of the Jewish perspective on it, and again, I mean the one from Torah's perspective, I would recommend that if you're looking to start on it and you're not necessarily looking to sit down and read a book, but you're happy to sit down and watch a video on it, then I would start with this channel. This one's called Origins of Judaism, and it was made by Beryl Wine. And unfortunately, I believe he passed away recently, but he's got a great channel here on YouTube, and one of the videos he has is the Abarbanel, which is a story about the rabbi from the 15th century and the Spanish Inquisition. And then you have one from the Rambam. He was a rabbi from the 12th century. Another one on Rashi from the 11th century. And then you also have one from like the 16th and 17th century, which is, I believe, called Heaven and Earth. And this one is a couple smaller stories about like the Baal Shem Tov. These are cartoon-made videos, but they're really well made. They're good for kids as well. The one that I wouldn't recommend for kids necessarily is Abarbanel. It's a little bit more on the graphic side sometimes, I guess you could say. But this is a great channel for just for those movies alone. In addition, if you want to learn from a person that covers a lot more history, a little bit more on, I guess you could say, the plain just information on it, but he gives it in an interesting way, and you want to learn it from somebody, I would go by Henry Abrams. He's an incredibly good historian. He's a rabbi that teaches in Truro. He's one of the professors there, I believe. And his videos he puts out on YouTube, he doesn't put out everything. Some of the things you have to be a member for, but most of the stuff he puts out, and it's incredibly good stuff. He covers some really unique parts of history, and he's very extensive. Like, he goes into real detail. If you want like somebody that gives you the information on everything, whatever subjects he's touching upon, he will give you an incredibly good background of information with proof and information. And one of the most interesting parts of his videos that I've ever watched is he actually does the history on Jewish explorers. There wasn't that many of them, but there was a couple, and he actually speaks about them. There are videos on his channel. So again, he's Henry Abrams on YouTube. I would heavily recommend looking at his videos. And if you want to learn a bit about him himself, who he is, because again, I believe he's a very Yid Shemaim Yid, and he's somebody that you could really trust the information you're getting from him. But if you want to learn a little bit about him and who he is, there's a video from Meaningful People where he did an interview there, and you get to learn a little bit more about who you're actually listening to. But again, heavily recommend looking up these two channels, especially this one just for the videos, and for the information from Rabbi Beryl Wine, you could also do it. He covers history very short, but if you ever want to get like snippets, he does have that as well, and it's like a crash course, as you could see, Jewish history crash course. But if you want real details, you want to get into the interesting subjects of Jewish history, I would heavily recommend this.